Aloha guys, it's your girl Kava Queen, and today on Tanoa Talks, I have Ben McQueen, who is the owner of Karuna Kava. I'm super excited to learn more about his business, and welcome, Ben. Tell me all about what you do.
Hey, it's awesome to meet you. Wish I was on the
Yes.
beach instead of in Idaho, but so we actually are the first kava company in Idaho. We make Karuna Kava,
Awesome.
as well as a fire cider, which is like a sipping vinegar, wellness vinegar, that also has a
Okay.
Vanuatu brogu that's hand squeezed into the vinegar.
Okay,
So
awesome.
kind of unique products.
Yeah.
Our grog is a little different than most other kava teas or ready to drink kava products on the market right now, because we actually infuse it with organic teas, instead of
Okay.
using water as a base. We actually
Okay.
brew
Let's see.
like an organic tea and then lightly sweeten it with a local honey from a local apiary here in Idaho, and it just makes a
Amazing.
really smooth kava.
Nice. So do you use extracts in your mixed drinks or in your bottled drinks, or is it
No,
traditionally prepared?
we actually use medium grind kava root.
Okay.
We've used Column Kava as a distributor. We've used
Awesome.
Fiji Vanua is our current supplier of kava. Just they have some really amazing root. But no, we generally try to stay away from extracts and concentrates.
Okay, that's
Um,
good. That's awesome. I like that,
yeah,
keeping it traditional kind of style.
sure. I mean, you could argue that we make our own concentrate with the vinegar itself,
Uh-huh.
but that's still using medium grind kava root.
Yeah.
We find that there's a lot less nausea for people that are new to kava. Sometimes extracts or concentrates will be kind of like harsh on on your belly.
Yeah, I'm
Um,
sure the tea helps with that as well. The tea
mhm,
and the honey is good for the nausea.
sure. Oh
Yeah.
yeah, and um, especially if we're like one of our current varieties is a citrus spearmint organic tea, and the spearmint really helps to kind of back down some of the what some people find to be gastrointestinal kind of upset with kava. I
Yeah.
don't really feel that. I feel like it's more of a it helps my much, but kava can kind of help you move things along if it needs to happen.
Yeah, that's true.
But I mean,
We've all
that's a
been there.
natural, yeah, that's a natural part of like the human body, and I think a beneficial part of kava if that part kind of crops up. But
Yeah.
we get much less like of the nausea that some people would get with concentrates for sure.
Yeah, I really like that. I like your style of your business with the bottles. How have people been enjoying it?
Oh, we always get like a mixed kind of bag,
Uh-huh.
until they have the experience. Once somebody has the experience of kava and they feel it and they have like a social connection with someone that, or maybe they're feeling a little more in their own skin, so to speak,
Yeah.
um, then pretty much everybody enjoys it. It's just getting
Uh-huh.
people that aren't used to the flavor over that initial hump.
Yeah,
You
your
know?
business is really good for that too. I really like that aspect. Like the
Yeah,
taste
and
is a little less, and it's good for people who are just kind of getting into kava and being like, sometimes when you pull up with a bucket full of mud, they're like, "What is that?" Be
yeah,
like, this tastes like dirt.
and I mean that's part of the
That's the good stuff,
experience.
right? I know
Yeah,
it really is. It really is. That's what I tell
and
people.
and I mean we really tried to keep our kava as close to. I mean, it's medium grind, hand strained kava. I mean, so
Nice.
it still tastes like kava. And for people that enjoy kava, they have like a different experience because there's like, whoa, this is kava, but it's like a little, it's like culinarily inspired,
Yeah, I like
Um,
that. It's like infused. I like that.
sure. But yeah, a little Bula to you.
Yeah, a little bula cheese. I need it today.
Oh, yeah, I need it on most days.
Right? Most days requires kava.
Mhm.
So how long have you been into kava? What brought you to it? How did you find out about it?
Yeah, well, I think I have a kind of a common story for Cabo for Howleys. I was a bad drinker.
Uh-huh.
hitting the booze pretty hard throughout my mid-teens, late teens, early 20s. And that like presented a lot of difficulties for me.
Yeah.
You know, I won't go too much into it, but you know, I've seen the inside of psych floors and had to have some difficult conversations with the police, you know, stuff like that.
Yeah.
And when I discovered Kava in Colorado in 2017, well, I won't say discovered, whenever I kind of stumbled into it, something changed in me, because I had the experience of maintaining my true moral compass myself, you know, my inner soul.
Yeah.
But I was still having like this social experience with people, and I was like having a good time, and like I found this whole community of people. Like I would never talk to people all around the world about Kava, you know. Never thought I would be doing a podcast with somebody in Hawaii, you know. But it was
I love that. That's so awesome that Kava helped you kind of break that cycle of drinking, because a lot of people do struggle with alcohol, and Kava is so helpful because you still get to drink and you still get to be social and relaxed, but like you said, you know, you're really there in the head. Your moral compass isn't like affected.
Yeah, I would say that it kind of points you towards north, you know, true north, if anything. You know, most people I know don't usually wake up in the morning and say, damn, you know, I drank Kava last night and I did that thing I really regret now. You know?
Exactly. No regrets with the Kava.
Right, exactly.
I love that.
How did you get into it? Just through
so I'm Samoan. No, so I'm Samoan. So when I was 15, I went to a family reunion and my uncles were drinking Kava. And I don't even know how I already knew what it was, but I was like, I want to drink with them. And so I stayed up till like 4 a.m. drinking Kava with my uncles when I was like 14. I remember getting out of my tent and the world was spinning. I was like, woo. But yeah, that's so awesome. That, and then when I was 18, they opened the Root of Happiness in Davis, California. And I started working there. And from then on, it was just Kava full time, you know, no more alcohol. Kind of just dove into it at the bar working there.
Yeah.
And yeah, I've been working with it ever since. Learned a lot over
Tyler's
there.
ball?
So it is, yes.
Yeah. That dude knows a lot about Kava, and
he does. Yeah, he taught me a lot. He taught me all the science stuff I know. And I've introduced like, I don't know, probably over 2,000 people to Kava over the 4 years. You know, it's been a lot.
Yeah, you
and
get
I
a lot
still
of people walking in a Kava bar.
Is there any Kava bars in Idaho?
No, not yet.
Not yet. Nice.
We hope to change that pretty quickly. I mean,
ooh, that's exciting.
Yeah, some would argue that we already are kind of a Kava bar. We serve Kava at farmers markets and local events, you know. So we really introduce a lot of people to Kava that have never had Kava, which interestingly enough, here in Idaho, includes some people that have heritage in the islands, which is always kind of a fun interaction, you know, whenever they're like, this guy's having, you know, he's serving Kava at a farmer's market in Idaho. Like, isn't that just like the stuff they do back on the islands? And then I'm like, oh, dude, no, not just the stuff they do back on the islands. This stuff is amazing. It is.
Yeah, it's everywhere too.
Yeah, and
I love that.
It has so much utility and purpose and power for a community building and community creation. It's just fun to be a part of it for sure.
Yeah. So is that like your goal? Like as far as like building, you just want to build like a nice Kava community in Idaho and introduce people to Kava and kind of share, you know, all the love and benefits of Kava with people?
Well, sure. I think we have a bit of a different way of doing Kava in general. You know, I mean, we are, and our focus is Kava. So a lot of Kava bars actually are, I mean, in no hate against it, but a lot of them are actually kratom bars.
Yeah, it's a huge problem.
Yeah, and I mean, I wouldn't even. I'm not going to classify it as a problem. It's just not our mission. You know, because some people do find benefit from that path, and more power to you. You know, but that's not really our focus. Our focus is high quality hand strain Kava. I'd love to get like and teas, organic teas and
Yeah.
kombuchas, essentially non-alcoholic beverages. Just because I think a lot of the utility of kava, and if you look at traditional kava use, in the Naka Mall in Vanuatu, where it's like a real community building, community-oriented activity where everybody meets up and kind of gets together and,
Yeah.
talks.
And drinks kava. Yep. I like
Yeah,
that.
exactly.
Yeah.
So nothing like that really exists here that doesn't revolve around booze. And that's really unfortunate.
And I think in the mainland, that's kind of like what's drawing people to kava, is that allure, of like social relaxation. And I really like that your business is not going to bring kratom into it, because it does kind of complicate things when you open a kava bar or you sell kava products with it. But like, as someone in the kava community, we've seen it all. Like, you see what's happening, but that's awesome that you guys are primarily focused on kava and other like more natural teas and all the stuff that you're saying.
Oh yeah, and I mean, I love lemongrass. I mean, there's all sorts of
Nice.
amazing natural ingredients. Cacao is like amazing. There's even some like traditional Native American things that you can make tea with. Like sage teas and purple. Purple. Oh man, what's that one? Purple Indian Warrior. Purple Indian Warrior
I've had that.
can be really relaxing.
Yeah, we've had that at the Root of Happiness.
Cool. Yeah.
Yeah.
That stuff is really neat.
I remember trying to drink it and I was like, this is bitter. Me as a kava drinker, like, this is bitter. Come on, girl.
It tastes
it's
gnarly.
bitter. It does. Yeah. I remember it. It looked like purple nugs.
Yeah.
Oh, that's
so
funny.
How does it feel to be in Hawaii and sort of watch kava develop mainly?
It's so different out here, because out here it's mostly just like people who mix their kava, all the guys get together, buckets. It's a lot more traditional out here. And there's definitely lots of places to get it, but it's different. It's like a different scene. But out here in Hawaii, it's amazing. I really got to get more into like selling it and kind of like expanding my brand out here, because my ultimate goal is to open a kava bar or a food truck.
Have you thought about doing pop-up at farmers markets?
Yeah, see, and that's the next thing I got to do, because like what you did is like really good. That's a good way to introduce yourself to the community without all that financial investment. Mm-hmm. So yeah, those are like some of the steps I'm gonna take.
Yeah, I mean, I started with the money that I had made actually waiting tables at Red Robin, because I left. Nice. I moved to Idaho. I left the job in the kava world in Colorado, because there was like this allure of these Idaho mountains, and Boise's this really cool town, and I'm a big skiing snowboarder, kind of mountain sports hiking kind of guy, like our whole family is. So
awesome.
Boise just seemed like the spot, and so I worked at Red Robin and got $1,000 together and bought a tent, a table, and I found somebody in the community that had a commercial kitchen, and I it's like, hey,
and you just rented it out.
Hey, yeah, I'll trade you. In the beginning, I traded them kava for it. Now I actually rent commercial space. But if you can talk to people in the community, and you can get it off the ground and that's really what matters, is getting out there. Yeah. Because
exactly,
even if it's if you think about it this way, if you just introduce one person to kava that's never had it, and it can be life changing. I mean, how do you put a price tag on that? I mean, is it a $6 double shell?
And it is like, that's where that passion comes for. Like, that's where the passion comes from too, as a person who sells kava. Like, you got to have that passion, just the willingness to like change people's life, and like that's why you do a kava business, is to really introduce people and change people's lives for the better.
Oh yeah, I mean, and that is when you are talking about real, true, Bula.
Bula.
I'm gonna break out my special bottle. I just brewed this today. This is a ambrosia white tea infused kava. It's Pai Mutan, very, very smooth.
Okay, nice.
Solomon kava root.
Ooh, I love Solomon. I haven't had Solomon forever.
It's a good one.
So how has your business been doing? Like, are you progressed like to the point where you're making sales and it's like kind of taken off?
Yeah, so we started kind of slow, just at that farmers market here in Idaho. There's actually no market in the winter, so we were for a bit we're kind of pigeonholed in that we couldn't make sales throughout a whole season. So it was almost like restarting every year, you know. But now we've got our website that's launched, and we ship frozen bottles directly to people's homes.
Okay, that's amazing. Do you ship everywhere in the United States?
Yep, we sure do.
Awesome.
And then our fire cider we ship also throughout the U.S. In little travel size shooter bottles, which are super convenient, you know, and they pack a punch. You really don't need much. It's not
I
meant
love
to
that.
be not meant to be something that you really drink to get rooted, so to speak, or get super muddy. It's more for like
It's just kind of like a
Mhm.
little relaxation. That's amazing.
Yeah, exactly. But I mean, it's picking up. You know, we're getting there. I find that if you just keep at it, you know, and if you just keep your product at a really high quality and try not to cut corners, which I think sometimes happens in the industry. But I mean,
Definitely does.
good,
Yeah.
yeah, and good quality root is out there. Good kava's out
Mhm.
there. You know, you just and it's worth it to pay for it because it just feels so much better. We
It
all know what a great
does.
kava feels
And to anyone
like.
listening, I'm going to include the website for Karuna Kava at the bottom of this video. So check
And
them
I'll
out
put a promo
online.
code. Yeah.
Perfect. Ooh, and a promo code.
Yeah,
A.
promo code self love for 25% off on
Love
any
that.
order.
Perfect.
Yeah, I'm excited to try your stuff once you get started.
Yeah, I know, right? I know so many people who sell kava, so it should be relatively easy. I just got to do it.
Yeah, you're well connected in the community, and that's what it really
Yeah.
takes. You know?
Even out here in Hawaii, you know, it should be pretty easy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Do you have a local kava bar in your area?
No, we don't. The only kava bar we have is in town, which is in Honolulu, and it's it's not like a scene kava bar, you know, it's not like a it's not like a oh my gosh, how do I describe this? It's like old uncle with his kava and he just sells bags. It's nothing really like alluring. It's not like well promoted, you know, it's just kind of like a little
The
kava
local
spot to go
spot.
get kava. Yeah.
Yeah.
Exactly. But we sell kava in
Hey.
gas stations out here
Okay.
and all of that. So it's everywhere.
Hey, you know
Bula.
what? Uncle Spot sounds pretty cool to me. I'm not gonna lie. I would hit that spot up for sure.
No, it is. He's great. I've heard great things about him.
Now, in terms of like seeing how like a lot of kava bars in the states kind of represent, uh, or some would say appropriate Polynesian and island culture,
Yeah.
where do you think the boundary is for some of these businesses like myself? You know, just from a culturally respective aspect, that's something I've really been
Yeah.
more
So
interested in.
it's so hard as a Polynesian person to watch your entire culture kind of be erased into like once you learn the history, like whether it be Hawaii or Samoa or Tonga, and how much has been like taken from us. I think like with the up like this whole new kava trend, it's so important to first like know the culture that you're selling from, and like that should always be broadcasted first. I feel like if you're a kava bar and you don't mention anything about Polynesia or the South Pacific, like you lose points with me immediately. And then,
Yeah.
you know, it's really not that deep, but I just feel like people need to like respect the culture and educate on the culture and then find ways to like support people back in the islands because they need it. You know, like the kava farmers, it's so much effort to grow kava and you never really hear that side of it from a lot of people who have these businesses. But like I worked for Travis and Tyler for 4 years and their bars did like an amazing job of representing the culture and educating people like on it. Like that's the first thing we have to say. And I just feel like people need to hire more Polynesian people too, because there's plenty of Polynesian people out there, you know, so you have all these kava bars and I would only hope that you're giving opportunities to young Polynesian people or any Polynesian person to kind of represent their culture and to have that aspect in your bar, because then it'll be more authentic. Like, I think it's unfortunate, but for the most part, if you respect it, that's all good.
Exactly. Yeah. I actually worked at Ohana Kava Bar in Colorado, and same. Matt always did a great job of.
I met Matt actually.
Yeah, he's a really cool dude. He, and his bars really kind of put forward that whole. You can't walk in that bar and not know that you're participating in something that came from the South Pacific.
Yeah, I really like that.
Cool. Now, in terms of like giving back, which I think we all could probably do a little bit more of. We actually
that's for sure.
Yeah, we just started doing a Sunday circle here. Actually, this Sunday will be the first one, which is kind of fun. Just to try and get people in the park drinking kava together. It's donation based. Like, we're not gonna take any profit from the event, so we're looking for a good organization to kind of put those funds towards. So if you know of any that pop out in your mind, we're doing some back end research. But
awesome, I'll keep you updated. I'll try to think of people I know. But that's amazing. And is there anything else that your brand plans on doing for, to help the culture kind of stay alive?
Well, I mean, we always feel that it's our goal to make people aware of where kava is coming from. We don't necessarily try to like teach intimate details about the culture or like represent the culture, just because I mean, I think that might be a step too far for me to come in and try and teach those kind of more intimate things about South Pacific culture, but getting people interested in where it comes, because that's really why kava is so cool. I mean, it's cool
exactly
because of its effects, but I mean, when you understand why kava has become so amazing over the last 3,000 years, and why it was so, cherished, and why it should be, and how mainly what we struggle with is overcoming people's misconceptions about health in kava.
There's a lot of misconceptions about kava. I mean, if you Google kava, it's like just liver damage, this and that.
Yes, but Google
vodka. I am.
Many friends on Big Island, they would be like,
right, they'll be like, hey, where's the cups at? Okay, nice. Ooh, very nice.
Closed it down, moved it to a post on private property because the COVID thing. The millionaire guy was so stoked. He's so like hell bent for kava. And no, he literally he dedicated half his farm to kava, hired his kids, built him a house, and they're now growing. And all the kava they're growing is not even harvestable yet, but it's already sold to these kava bars in Colorado Springs because.
Oh, in Colorado, he's talking about selling kava in Colorado.
They're making a mint because.
Oh yeah, it's a huge business.
It's like an alternative for the alcohol.
He knows all about it.
He does. I love this guy.
All the benefits of alcoholic edges without the hangover and the bad health effects. Unless you drink too much, it turns into an alligator.
Not the alligator. I am a kava alligator though.
Well, that.
You want a bowl?
Oh my God.
I'll chomp it all up.
Oh, no worries.
That's what it's all about right there.
That is. I'm actually filming an episode for my podcast right now. I do a kava podcast, and
give a big up to Kava Dave and
Kava Dave.
On Big Island.
Kava Dave. I've met Kava Dave.
Ready for a Bula?
Mimi on Big Island.
Cheese.
Bula.
Bula.
Wow. Yes, that's the goods.
That's the goods.
There it is.
Yes.
We got to
Oh yeah, the blessing for the Aina, Kuna, for yourself, for your friends. That's how we do the blessing here in Hawaii.
Wow.
Yeah. I've actually drank kava with Kava Dave one time. He's flinging kava all over. Yeah.
He says he knows Kava Dave.
No kidding.
One time, drank kava with Kava Dave.
Yeah, I know, it's super small world.
Small world. Man.
Oh, that's amazing.
Yeah, so I mean,
David's a stellar human being.
Yes.
World-class people.
Yes.
Kava
I was down in
attracts
Big Island
all
when they did
sorts
the
of
medicine for the
characters.
people.
It does.
Back in those days, back in the Naco Bear days.
Okay, nice.
Quite a while ago.
Well, Ben,
So-
anything else you want to say about Karuna Kava?
Oh, just that we're stoked to be spreading the word about Kava, and you know,
Yeah.
we're in a unique place to be
Man,
doing
my whole
it,
face
you
is
know?
numb. So good. Yeah, that's
So good.
We you know, get to really share Kava with a bunch of people that otherwise, you know, normally would never ever try. I mean, you would just crack up if you saw some of the people that you know, I get to try it, and it's so cool to, you know, see people that are 70 years old and have never had this experience kind of light up just to try something new,
Right, just to
you know,
get that
people
experience.
exactly, you know. So I
Yeah.
mean, my advice is, you know, I think you should start something up. It's always good to spread this stuff. You've got the spirit for it,
sure.
and you've definitely
Thank
got
you.
the attitude for it. So
Yeah.
it was a pleasure talking to you, and I hope
Well, I
we can maybe
appreciate you,
share a
Ben.
show in person sometime. You know,
I know, I hope so. Come to Oahu. It's beautiful.
I have no problem with that at all.
Yeah. I had a great time learning all about your business.
Yeah, it was nice
Yeah.
meeting you.
I hope
About
more people
the
check you
wine
out
culture.
through this episode. Yeah,
Yeah,
definitely.
thanks. Yeah, I hope.
Awesome.
Yeah, it's been fun being a part of the podcast, and I love that you're doing it. I think it's fun to keep
Yes.
talking to more people.
Awesome. Thank you, Ben.
You
Hope
bet.
you have
We'll
a
talk
great
later.
night. All right. Bye.
You too, Bula.
Bye.